Hello friends, welcome to another session on Code with Math. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button. And if you love all the learning sessions on this channel, please hit the like button and help to share with your friends so that we can reach out to more people. Thank you. For a while, we have started our series on learning from C, learning how to program in C. Today we are going to continue on the concept of loops, and we're going to look at nested loops, and we're going to see also some application of loops in C. For us to be able to understand this concept, I'm going to take our minds back to our favorite Mario game. And in that Mario game, we're going to see so many of these repeated pyramids. And you see that the pyramids are actually like boxes stacked on top of each other with different numbers. So in this session, we are going to see how we can print these pyramids. Instead of having a box, we're going to print a pyramid of hashes. Okay, so we're going to replicate this pyramid, and I want us to look at this and see the steps involved so we will know how to write our loop. So you can see this is a pyramid of 6 steps from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if you look at this, at every step of the way, the number of pyramid of boxes that are printed are increased. So at the beginning, or let me say at the top, one box is printed, 2 boxes, 3 boxes, 4 boxes, 5 boxes, 6 boxes. So for us to get this, we will understand that number one, the boxes are right aligned. So we want our box to also be right aligned. Then number two, at the first part where one box is printed, there are 3 empty spaces and there are 5 empty spaces. So we can see 5 spaces, then 1 box. Then on the next line, 4 spaces, then 2 boxes, 3 spaces, 3 boxes, all the way to 0 space and 6 boxes. So we can then see that there is a pattern here. So when the number of boxes, number one, are increasing, the number of spaces are reducing. So while we have from 1 to 6 boxes, we have 5 to 0 spaces. So that means that the highest number of spaces is the highest number of boxes minus 1. So that means we can have a loop that is printing the boxes incrementally, and we can have another loop that prints the spaces incrementally. So let's look at this in our VS Code. So here in this VS Code, I've created a boilerplate. So what we had there, let's have an integer, int n equals 6, which will be the number of boxes. So we want to print this. So the first thing is we're going to have a loop. Let's start with the loop. So let's declare int I to start from 0. So we're going to have 6 lines, right? So int I will start from 0. So for sake of readability, let's do this. I equals to 0. So I less than n. So I plus plus. So of course, if you just come here and say printf, sorry, and then let's say we print our hash, right, and a new line. Of course, this is definitely not complete. GCC loops, our output is A. So if we run A, so we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we just have 6 lines of hashes printed. So our first thing is we want to target the spaces, right? So we have another loop. Let's introduce a variable j in j. So so this time j is going to start from, let j start from 1. The reason why we would see why j will start from 1 later. So for j is less than 1, j equals to 1, sorry. Now, remember we want to print up to n minus 1, right? So n is 6. So there are going to be 5 spaces, right? So j less than n. So starting from 1, just to explain something, let's go back to the slide. So you can see in the slide that this is n is 6, right? So in the first place here is n minus 1. Here, there are 4 spaces. That's 2. N is 6. So 6 minus 4 is 2. So we are seeing that whatsoever we are subtracting from n, which is the number of the height, will always be equal to the number of boxes. So the number of boxes is equal to the step at which of the pyramid that we're in. So instead, in the top step, which is where we're starting from, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's how it is. So the more we go downward, the number of boxes increases and then the number of spaces reduces. So we can then say that the number of spaces to be printed equals to n minus the step where we are in, minus I. So let's just see that in our code. So n minus I, and then of course j plus plus. So we increment j, and then in there what we want to do is we want to print spaces. So printf, so I'm just going to print the space. So let's test our code and see where we are. So now you are saying one thing, there's an arrangement. We've gotten our spaces right. So the next thing is for us to get the pyramids right. So for us to get our pyramids right, we are going to introduce another variable. Our hash is right. The number of hash is right. So we're going to use another variable k, int k, and then let's use another loop. So of course, let me use a while loop here. So while, so let's say here k equals to 0. So while k is less than, so while k is less than I, so we want to print from 0 up to the number of steps that we are in, right? So while k is less than or equal to, k is less than or equal to I, right? So while k is less than or equal to I, we want to print ashes. If we just leave it this way, it's not going to be the best because we have not used any increment or decrement. So we're going to say k plus plus. So let's see where we are at this level of our code. So if we run this, so there is a problem. You see that our code is just being printed all in one line. So for each step, at the end of each step, we should print a new line. So printf. So let's just print our new line, backspace n. So now let's see, let's retest this. There is a problem. And that problem right here, if you look at here, we have said k is equal to O here. So that means that every time this loop is going to rerun, and we are incrementing k here, we are always going to come back to the value of k. So the value of k will not reset. We're always going to come back to the value of k where it terminated at the previous loop. So we will not be able to have more than one. So that means k is going to, for example, when I has gone higher, k will still come back to 0. And k would come back to the initial value it was. For example, when I is 0, k will print 1, k will go to 1, right? K will go to 1 while I goes to 1. So both k and I will be 1 because we initialize k only in this place. So what we can do here is to say in this loop, just before we run this loop, we can have a value of k so that every time we go to a new step, we have k as 0. So let's see. So now we have corrected our code. So it then means that every step of the way, k is 0. So k is going to count from 0 to the present value of I. So while I is 0, k will print just once because it's less than or equal to I. While I is 1, it's going to start from 0, so it will print 0 and 1, which is 2. While I is 3, it will print 0, 1, 2, and 3. Here is when I is 3. So this is what I want you to look at. Now we have a very good and working pyramid. So we can modify this code and ask our user, right? We can have a printf. Let's just have a printf right here. So printf. So we want to print any given height of pyramids. So printf, enter desired height. And then scanf. So we're going to get an integer. And then we're going to save it in n. So we can remove the value we gave n. So of course we have to end with semicolon. So then it means that our user is going to supply a particular number. So if I recompile and run, so I want the height to be 10. So I have a pyramid of 10. So I want it to be 20. Oops, sorry. So 20. So You can see. So we've achieved this using nested loops. So one of the things I would want you to do on your own, if we go back to our slide here, I would want you to have a go, try to implement this one, or you can even try to implement these two together. So first try to implement the first pyramid, then try to see if you can implement with a single with nested loops. Try to see if you can implement this mirrored pyramids together. Try it on your own, and you can put your comments in the comment section and let us know how you did it. Probably you can send us to a link of your GitHub account where you would upload your solution. Thank you very much. So if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button and hit the like button so that this video can reach out to more people. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful time with you on Code with Math. See you next time when we discuss functions in C. Bye.